8 clear signs you both like each other. Old Stoic Wisdom. Love is the only reality, and it is not a mere sentiment. It is the ultimate truth that lies at the heart of creation. Rabindranath Tagore. Attraction can often manifest in quiet, unspoken ways, subtle cues that may go unnoticed unless you're truly aware. When two people are drawn to one another, their feelings tend to surface through their actions and words, often more clearly than they realize. From lingering eye contact to moments of shared laughter, these behaviors suggest an emotional connection that runs deeper than just surface-level interactions. In this video, we'll explore 8 telltale signs that indicate mutual attraction. These signals are backed by psychological insights and social dynamics, offering clear guidance on how to decipher whether the feelings you share are truly reciprocated. Stick with us as we uncover how to recognize these signals and what they mean for the future of your relationship. 1. Consistent eye contact. In the world of human connection, there are few things as telling as consistent eye contact. This isn't just some casual glance or a polite look in someone's direction. No, it's much more profound than that. In fact, the Old Stoic Wisdom would tell you that eye contact is a window to the soul, a powerful indication of interest and attentiveness. You must understand this when two people are drawn to each other. They naturally seek each other's gaze. It's not forced. It's not practiced. It's instinctive. When your eyes meet, it's as if the universe pauses for a moment, and in that silence, you both speak without words. Don't make the mistake of thinking that just because you're not speaking, the connection is any less significant. Quite the opposite. In fact, when you hold eye contact longer than usual, or when you catch them stealing a glance when they think you're not paying attention, that's a signal of something deeper, something unspoken that words can't quite capture. You must recognize that maintaining eye contact is not only about the present moment, but about what it signifies. It's a sign that you're both truly paying attention, that you're not distracted, not looking around the room, but focused solely on each other. Think of it like this. Imagine you're engaged in a conversation, and despite everything happening around you, they remain locked into your eyes. They aren't just listening to the words you say, they're attuned to every nuance of your expression, your tone, your emotion. The old Stoics would tell us that true presence is a mark of wisdom, a sharp, iron mind that doesn't get lost in distractions. When you experience this level of attention, you're not simply having a chat, you're sharing a deeper understanding. And if their gaze lingers longer during the silent moments between your words, that is the unmistakable sign of mutual interest. Their mind is with you, not just their body. It's easy to overlook these subtle cues, especially in a group setting, but that's where the real magic lies. When you're surrounded by others, it becomes more difficult to maintain a singular focus. Yet if their eyes remain on you, unwavering and constant, even while others are speaking or moving around, you can be sure that the connection is something special. This is where the old Stoic wisdom truly shines through. The ability to maintain focus amidst the distractions of life. In a room full of people, when they continue to direct their attention toward you, you're not just part of the crowd, you're the center of their world, at least in that moment. This is a quiet, powerful signal that they see you, they hear you, and most importantly, they value you. You must never underestimate the strength of this silent bond. It's an act of presence, of focus, of iron mind discipline. This isn't some fleeting flirtation. It's a clear indication that there is something real here, something worth paying attention to. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of modern life, but old Stoic wisdom reminds us that true connection doesn't require grand gestures or extravagant words. Sometimes, all it takes is a lingering glance. When that gaze doesn't break, when they continue to look into your eyes as though there's nowhere else they'd rather be, that is the moment to recognize the depth of what's unfolding. So, the next time you catch their eye, don't brush it off. Don't let it slip by unnoticed. Recognize it as the meaningful, powerful sign it is. A gaze held longer than expected isn't just a look. It's an unspoken message that the connection you're both feeling is real, deep and worth exploring. That is the silent power of eye contact, a clear, unmistakable sign that you're both engaged in something much more profound than just passing conversation. And in that moment, remember the wisdom of the Stoics' focus, presence, and clarity. They are the pillars of an iron mind, a mind that sees what others miss, and a mind that values the quiet strength of meaningful connection. 2. Mirroring each other's behavior. Mirroring each other's behavior is one of the most profound signs of mutual attraction, and it's deeply rooted in the principles of human psychology. It's an instinctive, subconscious act. One person mirrors another's actions without even realizing it. The Stoic rules tell us to be deliberate in our actions, but when it comes to connecting with someone, mirroring is a natural sign of alignment and rapport. You must understand this. When two people are genuinely drawn to each other, their bodies and minds sync up effortlessly. The connection isn't just mental, it seeps into the physical realm. You'll notice that as you move, gesture, or change your posture, the other person will often do the same, almost as if they're on autopilot. This is not a coincidence. It's the body's way of showing that both people are comfortable, relaxed, and interested in one another. The most interesting thing about mirroring is that it usually happens without either party knowing. This unconscious imitation is how the human mind builds rapport. It's the way you align with someone, not just on a verbal level, but on a deeper, more intrinsic level. Be aware of this when you're sitting across from someone, having a conversation, and you lean forward, only to find them doing the same shortly after. That's no accident. They're subconsciously reflecting your behavior, which is a clear sign that they're drawn to you. The Stoic principles of understanding human nature emphasize the importance of observation, and this mirroring behavior is something you must notice. It's the mind and body working together to signal mutual interest. This behavior isn't limited to just posture. It also shows up in gestures and tone of voice. For instance, if you make a hand gesture while talking, and they repeat it in their own way, it's a strong sign that you've both tapped into the same rhythm, the same emotional wavelength. This mirroring may be subtle, but make no mistake, it speaks volumes. It's the body's way of expressing what the mind may not have put into words yet. That's why it's such a powerful sign. In the realm of practical Stoicism, we are encouraged to control our actions with purpose. Yet, when it comes to human connections, sometimes the most powerful things happen when we don't force it. Mirroring happens naturally, and its presence confirms the bond between two people. And it's not just physical mirroring, you'll notice it in the flow of conversation as well. If you find yourself mimicking their tone, pace, or even sentence structure, then you are both subconsciously aligning your communication style. It's the way our brains instinctively create harmony and understanding. You must be aware of these signals. In the Stoic tradition, control is essential, but the ability to recognize and acknowledge these small, natural cues is just as important. The beauty of mirroring is that it is one of the most authentic signs of mutual attraction. Unlike words, which can be carefully crafted or manipulated, mirroring cannot be faked. It's the body's silent language, speaking louder than any verbal exchange ever could. So, when you catch yourself mirroring someone's behavior, or, more importantly, when you notice them mirroring yours, take a moment to recognize it. It's a clear, powerful indication that they feel the same attraction. It's a moment of synchronization, of connection, of shared understanding. The Stoic rules tell us to be mindful, to observe, and this is exactly what you must do. Pay attention to these subtle yet profound signs. They'll tell you more than words ever could. This synchronization is a true reflection of mutual interest, and when you recognize it, you'll understand just how deep the connection runs. If you found this insight valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful lessons on building meaningful connections. Comment to remember, I am aligned and in sync with my connections. 3. Frequent and effortful communication. Frequent and effortful communication is a crucial sign that both of you are genuinely interested in each other. This effort is not mere coincidence, it's intentional. It's a sign of mutual desire to stay connected, and it demands consistent, persistent action. When two people like each other, they find ways to reach out, whether through texts, calls, or face-to-face conversations. It's not about occasional half-hearted check-ins. It's about the effort to stay engaged, to nurture and build that bond. As Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Similarly, in relationships, true wealth is not found in shallow interactions, but in the deep and consistent effort both individuals make to stay present in each other's lives. Communication should never be one-sided. It should be a two-way street, where both parties initiate and maintain contact with genuine interest. If you're constantly reaching out, but they only reply out of obligation, that's a warning sign. On the other hand, if both of you are constantly seeking reasons to connect, it's a clear indicator that you're both equally invested. This is not about making excuses or waiting for the other person to make the first move. It's about making it a priority to stay in each other's lives. If your conversations go beyond the surface, if they check in on you without needing a reason, if they make an effort to stay connected, it's clear. This is the foundation of a deeper connection, a connection built on mutual effort. As the ancient Stoics would affirm in their Paths of Wisdom, don't settle for passive interactions. You must create meaningful moments through consistent effort. Let the communications be deliberate and frequent. That is the key. It's a mark of mutual respect and attraction that leads to something deeper, stronger, and more lasting. Or, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, as Marcus Aurelius advises. In your pursuit of understanding each other, let communication become the tool that reveals not only your own feelings, but theirs as well. If you desire victory in your relationship, you must commit to this daily practice. That's the only way to move forward on the paths of wisdom. So, let's get this straight. Communication is not optional, it's vital, and it should be effortless for both of you. 4. Finding reasons to spend time together. When it comes to finding reasons to spend time together, don't miss the obvious yet powerful signals that someone truly enjoys your company. People who like each other don't wait for a formal invitation or a grand event to show up. They actively seek ways to create opportunities for connection, even in the smallest of settings. That's what makes attraction so magnetic. It pushes individuals to gravitate towards each other. Think about it. They invite you to casual hangouts, show up at events they know you'll be at, or find reasons to be in the same space even when it's not strictly necessary. This behavior is rooted in a desire to be near you, and it's far from incidental. In fact, it's one of the clearest signs that mutual attraction is in play. The beauty of this sign lies in its simplicity. When someone genuinely likes you, they'll find ways to include you in their world. They'll suggest activities or make plans that involve you, and these plans often align with your interests. It's a subtle but profound gesture. Think about it. If they're constantly trying to involve you in things that you enjoy or suggesting things you'd find interesting, it's a clear sign that they value your presence and want to share these experiences with you. But it's not just a one-way street. You, too, should notice whether you're making the same effort for them. If both of you are seeking opportunities to spend time together, you're both signaling to each other that this connection is more than just surface level. You're building a deeper bond, one that goes beyond mere chance or convenience. The beauty of attraction is that it's mutual, and these shared efforts are what turn simple moments into lasting memories. This isn't just about filling the empty hours or checking boxes on a social calendar. It's about cultivating moments that allow both of you to grow closer, to experience life together, and to see each other in ways that aren't possible when you're apart. It's about the quiet understanding that the time spent together is valuable because it deepens your connection. And that's where the Old Stoic Wisdom comes in. True attraction is not born from obligation or fleeting desire, but from a deeper understanding and appreciation for one another. The Stoics believed that we should be deliberate in how we spend our time, and this concept applies perfectly to relationships. Spending time together should be intentional, meaningful, and rooted in mutual respect, not just an effort to fill the void of loneliness. If you're both consistently making the effort to share moments together, it shows a level of commitment and emotional investment. You're not just spending time together out of convenience or circumstance. You're actively choosing each other's company because you want to, because you enjoy being with each other, and because, on some level, you know that this time builds something deeper. This dynamic is where the iron mind of mutual attraction is born. Neither party is just drifting along passively. Both are actively engaged in the process of creating something special. The willingness to make time for each other, to put in the effort and share experiences, is the foundation of something real, not something fleeting. That's the power of shared effort in building connection. This isn't about filling your calendar with plans just to have someone around. It's about making intentional choices to spend time together and recognizing the potential that exists in those moments. Relationships, grounded in mutual effort, thrive and grow stronger as you create more shared experiences. So, take a step back and reflect on your actions. Are you both finding reasons to be together because you genuinely enjoy each other's presence? If so, it's a sure sign that the connection you share is something meaningful. Remember, the wisdom of the Stoics' true relationships are built not just on feelings of attraction, but on the steady, deliberate effort to spend time together and to value each other's company. The iron mind sees the value in these moments and understands that they're not just fleeting instances, they're the building blocks of something lasting and meaningful. If you found this insight valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more timeless wisdom. To engage with us, drop a comment saying, "I create meaningful connections." This simple affirmation reinforces the intentional effort we should put into building deeper, genuine relationships. Let's keep the conversation going. 5. Physical closeness and subtle touches. Don't underestimate the power of physical closeness when it comes to recognizing mutual attraction. One of the strongest signals that two people like each other is how naturally they gravitate towards one another. This isn't about being overly obvious or making bold moves. It's about those subtle, almost instinctive actions that speak volumes. You see, when two people like each other, they close the distance between them during conversations. You must pay attention to how they maneuver their body, or even their physical space, when around you. There's a magnetic force in play, a kind of pull that's often unspoken but deeply felt. These moments are part of the language of connection, whether it's leaning in slightly when they talk to you, brushing up against your arm in passing, or sitting just a little bit closer than usual. These gestures are rooted in the desire to feel closer. In fact, these simple movements are some of the most powerful indicators of attraction. The Stoic principles remind us that human behavior, though influenced by emotions, can often be understood through reason and awareness. Physical proximity is no exception. The Stoic rules encourage us to be mindful of how we relate to others, recognizing that attraction isn't just about the superficial, it's a reflection of our deeper, more authentic desires to connect. These moments of physical closeness, however subtle, should be viewed through the lens of practical stoicism. It's not about forcing closeness, but rather about noticing when it's happening naturally. If someone is leaning in during a conversation, their body language speaks louder than words. They might be telling you something profound without saying a thing. And when you find yourself doing the same, it's a clear indicator that the feelings are likely mutual. Don't ignore it. These subtle touches often happen without any thought or intention. When someone brushes against your arm or makes any other light touch, it's an unconscious gesture. It's not a grand romantic move, but it speaks to a desire to connect. Think about it. Your body is not just a vessel, it's also a communicator. Physical gestures like these often serve as a non-verbal way of saying, "I want to be closer." They signal a level of comfort, trust, and connection that goes beyond words. For example, consider how you behave when you're around someone you like. Do you lean in, when they speak? Are you finding subtle excuses to be close to them? These actions aren't random. They're a natural response to attraction. You can often tell if someone is interested by how they position themselves physically. And if you're reciprocating, it's a sure sign that you're equally drawn to them. This is the beauty of mutual attraction. It's reflected in small, often overlooked actions that carry great meaning. The Stoic approach to relationships values genuine, deliberate actions over impulsive, emotional reactions. When you act on your desires to connect, do so with purpose. The Stoic teachings on practical Stoicism emphasize the importance of being aware of your physical presence and the signals you send to others. Don't allow your body to speak without purpose. Be deliberate. These small gestures, whether a brush of the arm or a subtle lean forward, are powerful forms of communication. They can show deep interest and affection without the need for dramatic displays. Remember, the Stoic principles don't dismiss the role of physical connection. Instead, they encourage us to understand it, appreciate it, and use it as a tool for deeper relationships. Mutual attraction isn't just about feeling drawn to someone. It's about recognizing and respecting that attraction in subtle, everyday ways. When you're both making the effort to get closer physically, it's not just about the closeness of the body, it's about the closeness of the hearts and minds as well. In conclusion, pay attention to the space between you and the person you're interested in. If you both find yourselves naturally gravitating toward each other, it's a powerful sign of mutual attraction. These subtle touches and physical closeness aren't just accidental. They are signs that the feelings you share are real and genuine. So, be mindful of how you act and respond, because in the world of practical Stoicism, every gesture matters. You must remain aware of the signals you send and receive. And remember, when you both act on those natural impulses to get closer, you're not just moving physically, you're moving emotionally and mentally as well. 6. Genuine interest in your life. When someone likes you, their interest in your life will extend far beyond the surface-level chatter that often fills everyday conversation. It's not just about asking, "How was your day?" or "What's new?" It's about the deep, meaningful questions that reveal their true curiosity about who you are, what drives you, and where you see yourself in the future. This kind of genuine curiosity is far from accidental. It's a sign that they are paying attention, that they value you, and that they want to understand what makes you unique. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This approach applies to relationships too. The reaction, the attention to detail, is what matters. When someone shows a real interest in the little things that make up your life, like your favorite hobbies, your long-term dreams, or even the small, seemingly insignificant stories you shared weeks ago, they are demonstrating more than just politeness. They are engaging in an intentional act of connection. They want to know you on a deeper level, and they're willing to invest time and energy into understanding your world. If someone remembers details you might have mentioned in passing, such as a favorite movie, an event that had you anxious, or a project you've been working on, they are not simply being courteous, they are actively listening. And when they follow up on these topics later, when they ask how that movie turned out or how the event went, that's a clear sign they are truly invested in your life. This type of attention is often reciprocated because it naturally creates an environment of trust and mutual respect. When you start to notice that you are returning the same level of care and interest, it's a powerful indicator that the feelings are mutual. This exchange of genuine curiosity and empathy turns a casual connection into something far more meaningful. This is the path of wisdom, the recognition that strong, lasting bonds are not formed from superficial interactions, but from a deep, authentic engagement with one another. As Epictetus taught, the wise person values relationships and lives with intention, seeking truth and growth not just for themselves, but with others. And it is in these shared experiences that the greatest connections are made. This is more than just advice. It's a call to action. In the rush of modern life, where distractions and shallow interactions are all too common, you must not overlook the importance of genuine connection. when someone expresses a true interest in your life, in your dreams, your struggles, your passions. Take it seriously. It's not every day that someone invests that much attention in you, and you must recognize the value in that. Likewise, you must be willing to mirror that interest. Don't be afraid to ask the deeper questions. Don't shy away from showing that you care. The bond you create through this mutual curiosity is what transforms a fleeting connection into something solid and lasting. You are shaping your future relationships with every small act of attention and every word of genuine inquiry. This is not about playing games or keeping score. It's about being real, being present, and understanding that life is too short to waste on surface-level exchanges. Let's make this clear. You must be intentional with your actions. Don't settle for mediocrity in your relationships. Don't settle for conversations that only scratch the surface. You have the power to cultivate real, meaningful connections. When someone shows interest in you, it's not by chance, it's by choice. They have made the decision to invest in you, and you must recognize the opportunity in that. Don't waste it. Follow their lead. Engage in the same level of genuine curiosity and care. It's through this kind of deep, authentic connection that you will find fulfillment and create the kind of relationships that enrich your life. Remember, the path of wisdom is not about passive existence. It's about taking charge, making deliberate choices, and building something worthwhile. If you want to create something truly powerful in your relationships, you must show up with that same level of attention and authenticity. That is how you master your relationships. That is how you build a life worth living. This is the Stoic approach to relationships, focused, intentional, and deeply invested in the people who matter. Take these lessons seriously, because you have the power to create the connections that will sustain you, strengthen you, and help you grow. Don't let these moments of genuine interest slip by unnoticed. You must embrace them, nurture them, and use them to propel yourself toward meaningful, lasting relationships. And, as Epictetus would say, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The same applies to your relationships. True wealth lies in the deep connections you build, not in the superficial interactions that don't add value to your life. If you found this video valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I attract genuine connections. 7. Playful teasing or flirting. When you begin to engage in playful teasing, it's one of the clearest signs that mutual attraction is not just a passing feeling, but a connection that's both meaningful and fun. Flirting is often the first hint of interest, but when it is mixed with light-hearted teasing, something much deeper unfolds. Playful teasing isn't just about having fun, it's a form of emotional intimacy that speaks volumes. It reveals that both of you are feeling comfortable enough to let down your defenses and be yourselves without the fear of judgment. This kind of interaction doesn't feel forced or awkward. Instead, it's a natural flow, an easy banter that creates a space where both people feel safe and valued. In fact, this dynamic is exactly what the Old Stoic Wisdom speaks to: emotional self-control coupled with inner strength. It's not about being overly serious or stoic to the point of detachment, but it's about maintaining a steady, grounded approach while embracing vulnerability and joy. You need to understand that playful teasing is not about being critical or mean-spirited. It's about celebrating your connection in a way that is light, uplifting, and reciprocal. It's the playful jab about something silly you said, the teasing nickname that has special meaning between the two of you, or an inside joke that only the two of you understand. And let me be clear, this isn't about crossing any lines or making the other person feel uncomfortable. It's about finding that perfect balance, where you both feel engaged and excited by the interaction. It's a sign that you both enjoy each other's company so much that you're comfortable enough to express your affection through fun and humour. Now, here's where you need to really pay attention. If you find yourself teasing them back with the same energy, smiling, laughing, and building upon the joke or playful comment, it's an even stronger signal that there is genuine chemistry between you. It's no longer just one-sided. It's a mutual exchange where both of you are fully invested in creating this dynamic. It becomes clear that you're not just enjoying each other's company. You're learning how to play with the tension of attraction, how to express that desire and interest in a way that feels exciting yet safe. This is not some random flirtation or momentary connection. It's the beginning of something with potential for depth. As much as you may feel the pull to keep things light and casual, remember that this playful exchange actually sets the stage for something more serious, something more emotionally profound. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that we must control our emotions but not deny them. It's about responding to the world with equanimity, yet still allowing for the richness of human connection. Playful teasing is one of the ways you both navigate this, by maintaining an emotional balance while also embracing the fun of being attracted to one another. It's about having the iron mind to stay grounded in who you are, but also the courage to dive into the playful banter that marks the early stages of a meaningful relationship. Don't shy away from this. Don't avoid it because you're afraid of looking vulnerable or too eager. Be open to the lightness and joy it brings, because in doing so, you are building the foundation of something stronger, something that has the potential to grow. As you notice this playful dynamic, take a moment to appreciate what it represents. It's not just an innocent flirtation or a way to pass time. It's a marker of emotional investment, of trust, and of willingness to forge a deeper connection. You might notice that you're teasing each other about small things, or maybe sharing inside jokes that no one else gets. These moments, small as they may seem, are profound in their own right. They create a private space between you two, a world that's just yours. You must take this seriously, because these little exchanges are crucial in forming the kind of bond that can withstand the ups and downs of any relationship. The iron mind, guided by Old Stoic wisdom, knows that relationships are built not just on grand gestures, but on the small, consistent acts of connection, like playful teasing. So, if you're in this space where you're teasing each other, where the banter flows easily and naturally, then you're both heading down the path to something genuine. Don't ignore the significance of these moments, because they are laying the groundwork for deeper emotional intimacy. The fact that both of you can feel safe enough to tease each other means you're both investing emotionally. There's no reason to pull back or second guess. Embrace the playful side of your connection, because it is an essential part of building the foundation for something that has the potential to grow into something truly meaningful. In this way, the iron mind, tempered by Old Stoic wisdom, knows that this playful teasing is far more than just fun. It's a vital part of the emotional foundation you're both building. So, keep teasing, keep laughing, and keep enjoying the natural chemistry that is developing between you. Let it strengthen, let it evolve, and above all, don't let it slip away. 8. Subtle jealousy. Jealousy is often seen as a negative emotion, but when it appears subtly in a relationship, it can be a sign that attraction and emotional connection are at play. Now, don't get it twisted. Jealousy shouldn't become the driving force behind the relationship, nor should it morph into possessiveness or control. Instead, think of it as a small but telling reaction when someone you care about shows attention to someone else. It's not about insecurity or distrust. It's a reflection of how much the bond between you both really matters. In the context of practical stoicism, we recognize that while we can't control how we feel, we can control how we respond to these feelings. So, if jealousy arises, acknowledge it, but don't let it cloud your judgment or drive your actions. It's just an emotional signal, nothing more. In the early stages of a connection, subtle jealousy can reveal a lot. Perhaps they get quieter when you're talking to someone else, or they might ask lightheartedly, "Who's that with a slight furrow in their brow?" It's not about trying to control who you talk to or who you're friendly with. Rather, it's an instinctual reaction that signals they might want more from the relationship than just friendship. They might even be seeking reassurance, but that's not something you need to fear. Instead, treat these moments with care, as opportunities to connect on a deeper level and discuss your feelings openly. This type of jealousy is a reaction that, when addressed correctly, can be used to solidify the bond between you two. You must recognize that this feeling is natural and, in many ways, a sign that you're both emotionally invested in each other's presence. It shows that the relationship matters enough for both of you to feel a little bit protective of the space you're creating together. You must act with the same emotional intelligence that Stoic principles encourage, acknowledging your feelings without letting them control you, and using those emotions to create a deeper understanding between you. Similarly, you might notice that you, too, experience a mild sense of jealousy when they talk about someone else. That is a sign that the attraction is mutual. The key here is how both of you handle these moments. It's not about acting on jealousy with accusations or defensive behavior. Instead, it's about taking these feelings as an opportunity to bond and express your emotions honestly, as per Stoic rules that stress emotional control and openness. When both of you can talk about these feelings without judgment or blame, you create a space for growth and trust in the relationship. This honest communication allows both of you to navigate the discomfort of jealousy and turn it into something that strengthens the connection. The important thing to remember is that subtle jealousy, when it occurs in moderation, signals that both of you value the relationship and care about each other's emotions. In the context of Stoicism, this emotional awareness and understanding become an essential part of developing a strong, lasting bond. Stoic principles remind us to act with calmness and reflection, not to rush into decisions or reactions, but to reflect on the nature of our feelings and the impact of our actions. When you see jealousy appear, don't react impulsively. Instead, channel the principles of practical Stoicism, acknowledge the feeling, reflect on it, and use it as a stepping stone to create deeper trust and emotional understanding between you both. In relationships, it's important to accept that emotions like jealousy are natural. These moments aren't about doubt or distrust, but rather a sign of emotional investment. You must understand that these feelings aren't an obstacle, but a chance for growth if addressed with maturity and wisdom. Acknowledge them, and use that recognition as an opportunity to reinforce the emotional connection you're building. After all, it's not about how you feel in the moment, but how you respond and grow from it. By integrating Stoic principles, both of you will have the tools to understand and manage these feelings, allowing your connection to flourish. It's a powerful reminder that subtle jealousy, when dealt with appropriately, is not a threat. It's a signal that the connection between you two matters deeply. Thank you so much for watching this video on the 8 signs you both like each other. Attraction and connection can often feel like a puzzle, but recognizing these behaviors helps make things clearer. If you've noticed these signs in your own interactions, it might be time to take a closer look at your connection and decide what step to take next. Remember, relationships thrive on communication, mutual respect, and understanding, so don't be afraid to explore those feelings and express your intentions when the time feels right. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. Also, share this video with someone who might find it helpful or interesting. And if you're not already part of our community, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. I post videos that dive deep into psychology, relationships, and self-growth, all designed to help you navigate life with confidence and clarity. Lastly, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you noticed any of these signs in your own experiences? Or are there other behaviors you think reveal mutual attraction? Let's continue the conversation below. Thank you again for spending your time here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep building better connections.